All right, you already know what it is. Fourth Quarter Boys Sports. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake, in the building, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Be a Fourth Quarter Boy for life, man. Hit that notification icon. Get notified every time I flip out a video. So, time is closing in on the 2022 NFL Draft, and the Chicago Bears are shaping up their roster. Just the other day, we signed a cornerback and a tight end and a linebacker. So this roster's starting to fill out. So we're going to take a look at the roster. We're going to go through it position by position and just see what we got, see what holes we still need to fill in the draft. So with no further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're going to start from the top. Let's go with that wide out position. I see they have Equanimeous St. Brown as the number 3 wide receiver. Behind him, they have Isaiah Coulter, a guy I'm not sure if he'll make the team or not. Simba Webster behind Darnell Mooney. I'm not sure how much I like that. And we got Byron Pringle starting as well. And we got him in the slot. And behind him, we got Daz Newsome. And I still want to see a little bit more from Daz Newsome. Isaiah Coulter and the Simba Webster, I think we're going to be able to sign some guys in the undrafted free agent market that we might be able to develop. And moving on to the offensive line, we got Tevin Jenkins starting at left tackle. We got Cody Whitehair starting at left guard. We have Patrick Lucas at center. We got Dakota Dozier at right guard and Larry Borum at right tackle. I still think there's a little problem up front. I'm not sure how solid Dakota Dozier is, but we'll see in preseason. Definitely would love to have somebody just to really push some competition at that spot if that's where Dakota Dozier is going to be. So hopefully we draft somebody, some more talent, somebody that can step right in there and just shore up that line a little bit better. Also with Patrick Lucas, in my opinion, I think some of his best snaps were taken at guard. And, I'm just curious to see how this offensive line shapes out. I still believe in Sam Mustipher. I think he's getting stronger. Hopefully, Sam is going to be a Bear for a little while. I think you could rely on him to do what you've seen him do. I think he's a solid backup. And, there's nothing wrong with having a couple guys that can snap the ball. You never know what could happen or how you may need to organize the starting lineup in case of injury or just in case the combination make things work better. Now in the tight end group, I still don't see that playmaker at tight end except for, maybe Jesper Horsted. Jesper Horsted has, coincidentally only made big plays for the Bears. Ryan Griffin is coming from the Jets, and, he doesn't appear to be a touchdown type of tight end. He doesn't seem like a Travis Kelce sort of guy. And Cole Kmet, I still think he's young, has a lot to learn. Maybe this year will be the year that, he has a breakout season, and I hope that is the case. I would still like to see the Bears go and find somebody that could definitely make an impact in the passing game outside of Jesper Horsted. Now in the quarterback room, we got Justin Fields, we got Trevor Siemian backing him up. We still got Nick Foles and Ryan Willis. Not sure where he came from, San Francisco it looks like, but you know how that's going to go. Hopefully Luke Getsy's able to organize a nice scheme for this offense that'll help Justin Fields be a successful quarterback this season. So I'm not really touching anything in the quarterback room. I really don't want to see the Bears draft a quarterback with the little amount of picks that we do have. In the running back room, we got David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert backing him up. I'm not too familiar with Darrington Evans, but I'm sure he could take a couple reps if necessary. I still feel like they need that scat back. I'm not sure if Darrington Evans is that guy, but I'm still a believer in David Montgomery. I definitely like Khalil Herbert as a change of pace back. I really wish that we could find that Tariq Cohen replacement, that guy that gives linebackers fits, that you can put out at wide receiver and let him run routes. But we'll see what happens with this running back room. We also got a fullback now. I'm sure this is for short yardage situations, but he actually catches the ball out the backfield as well and picks up short yardage, and he can break a couple tackles and get downfield as well in a Kari blasting game. Defensively, somehow, some way, the Bears always seem to get the focus back on the defense, and it seems like that's part of the team that's pretty much filled out if you look at the roster. And I'm not sure if everybody here is going to make the team. There's a couple guys that I feel like that's been on the practice squad and been backing up players. It should have been cut a long time ago. So let's start there. Let's look at a guy like Ladarius Mack. I really feel like he was signed because his brother was there, but don't really see a real future with him with the Bears now that Khalil Mack is gone. And I definitely think that Matthew Adams is a better linebacker than Ladarius Mack, hands down. A guy like Bo Pete Hayes, not sure how he finds his way onto the 53-man roster, but he's still signed with the Bears. And I just think that, we may draft a cornerback. He may get pushed out the building. Lamar Jackson, it's another guy, I think he's a camp body. I'd hate to throw these sort of things out there so early, but at the same time, I think that Ryan Poles has brought in some better talent in the secondary, and I think we have some better secondary players on the team as well. So in the middle, we got Kyrus Tonga and Justin Jones. Backing them up, we got Angelo Blackson and Mario Edwards. And I think that's a pretty good rotation of interior linemen, if you ask me. At defensive end, we got Travis Gibson and Robert Quinn. Now, we also got Al-Quadin Muhammad, a guy that we brought over from Indianapolis. So that kind of brings into question whether Robert Quinn will be a Bear at the start of the season, or will he be traded? Jeremiah Atachu, I think that he may have a better season than last year. I know he was injured and he didn't get a chance to get on the field as much, but hopefully this will be a season where he rebounds. I also like Charles Snowden. I think he's a guy that didn't really get a big opportunity because Khalil Mack was there and Robert Quinn was there. He had a very hard time finding his way into the lineup. He also suffered from an injury, but he's another guy that I think might make that 53-man roster. Some of the other guys that are on the line that we may see some changes at might be Laquel London. You might see a change in Sam Kamara, even though I kind of like Sam Kamara. Now we have also to talk about the linebackers, where we got Roquan Smith, Nicholas Morrow, and I have a feeling that Matthew Adams may find his way into the starting lineup if we don't get a linebacker out the draft. Now moving on to the secondary, we got Eddie Jackson. I'm sure we all know that he's going to start and try to earn his money this year and earn another contract. And I think he might fit a little bit better with this 4-3 defense. At strong safety, we got DeAndre Houston Carson. And behind DeAndre Houston Carson, we got Dane Cruikshank. And, that looks like that's going to be a battle for that starting position right here. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. I don't think we need to touch that position, strong safety. Free safety. At free safety, I do wonder who we have in the fold to back up Eddie Jackson in case of an injury. So that may be something that the Bears may be looking into in the later rounds in the draft, or maybe as an undrafted rookie free agent to see who they could bring onto the team that might make a difference and can learn behind Eddie Jackson. The cornerback position is a position that I feel that we definitely need to make some changes. Hopefully Thomas Graham Jr. Can match on the other side of Jalen Johnson, and they could really, lock down some corners. With the addition of Tavon Young, I think that kind of shores things up. I still think that you need another solid cornerback, in case one of these guys get injured, and I just don't see him on the roster as of yet. Special teams is special teams. We got Cairo Santos, and hopefully he continues his streaks and continues helping out the Bears put points on the board. But just looking at the roster, I definitely think the Bears need to focus on the offensive line, the wide receiver room / tight end room. It doesn't necessarily need to be a wide receiver, but even a dynamic pass-catching tight end will really help out the passing game and Justin Fields' development. The running back room is fine in my opinion. If they don't do anything to the running back room, I'm cool with that. I just want to see Justin Fields develop. The wide receiver room, as I said before, we definitely could stand to have one more playmaker, somebody with a little bit of size and speed and could go up there and get it and take a pounding. Defensively, I really think that Matt Eberflus and the defensive coordinator will have fun mixing and matching a lot of the talent that they've accumulated on this roster thus far. I do think they're missing some pieces in the secondary, especially in the cornerback area, and they might need a free safety to back up Eddie Jackson, somebody that they can rely on. I think they're pretty good in the linebacker spot. I think they got enough talent to choose from up front as far as defensive ends and defensive tackles to put together a solid defense. But, that's what it is. Just a quick look at the Chicago Bears roster thus far. And you know who it is. It's the illustrious one, Professor Lake, in the building. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Be a fourth quarter boy for life. Hit that notification icon. Get notified every time I flip out a video. This is the Bears roster thus far. Take a look at it.